The mind. The mind calls the moment, that one moment of awakening, that one moment of all is clear. I call a kind of a Jesus moment. You see, you try and make comparisons with the mind tries to understand enlightenment, understand what it experienced. And it calls on everything in the external world, the internal world, the thoughts, the imagination, the past, the future. It calls on all its resources to say, could it be true? Could this God be true? No, this is the mind searching, analyzing, wanting information, confirmation, so that it can pacify itself to say, well, I did my job properly. Mind is here to do its job properly. And its job properly is to reveal that what it witnesses every day, that what it serves every day, that what one is, beyond the mind and the body. So the Jesus moment is not what it is, but the relationship to others, enlightened moments, is possible. I mean, it's not possible. Is it? Everything is okay. You see, everything is acceptable. Everything is, whether you call it a Jesus moment, a Buddha moment, a Krishna moment, a revelational moment, a moment of source, a moment of God. It's all the same moment. But the mind wants to identify and give it a name and give it some sort of, tombstone, some Wikipedia thing. So, in the Ramana Maharshi always way, you look at the Jesus moment within, and you're so grateful. And there's an intense but effortless experience of love. And it can stay, but at some point it will just fade into the background again. It won't pass. And like Ramana, when it does fade, if it fades, which it cannot fade, but the mind can mask it, the ego can come in, the phone can ring, the everyday aspects of life can shake it up. And this moment is not a netty moment. This moment cannot pass. See? So this moment is infinite oneness with oneself. It is no description, it is pure, vast, full emptiness. How can emptiness be full, you see? When you have a container, one of the big soup pots with a lid, and you put the lid on, and the child says, "What's inside?" You said, "Nothing, just space." And the child says, "Oh, so there's nothing there." And you say, "Well, there is. It's full, full to the brim." And the child said, "Full to the brim of what?" "It's full to the brim of space." And the child gets confused. But the child understands. Its mind is able to accept that what we do not teach our children, that space is useless. Space we teach, it's not about what is surrounding us, it is about me and the device, me and the room, me and the object. Everything else is meaningless, pointless, empty, nothing, waste of precious space. So the child wants to fill the space, you see, like the rest of us. The child is educated into filling this space. How can I put so much things in my room to get rid of this nasty space? But without the space, nothing can be put in the room. You see? Without space, we cannot survive. Into space. More space. So the word emptiness, to the mind, the ego that wants to fill emptiness with loads of things, loads of nice things, loads of, cities and boats and ornaments and art and stuff. Get rid of this emptiness, fill it up. And the psychologist says to you when you're in your room, and your room is full of, and in a Zoom, even in a Zoom meeting, the psychologist looks at you, what's behind you, and you're so depressed and you're so anxious and really at the end of your tether, and the psychologist says, why not just go out of the house? Why would I do that? Let's try it. And you open the door and space. Doesn't fix the problem, obviously. Short-term fixing, you see. Because the mind has to be really deconditioned into accepting space as much as we accept the object. So emptiness, spoken by the Buddhists, and self by the Vedantas, just another version of emptiness, wholeness, oneness. It's not what the mind wants to make out of it. It's just something that the mind has to work hard, put some effort in, and say, no, I need to put something, I need something in my life that has value. And I have been learned at school and told that valuable things are the things that are beautiful, precious, and they're made out of specific materials and they're quality objects. When you show off the beautiful Rolex watch, look at that. And I'm not looking at the hand. The hand that says, if it wasn't from your hand, this watch would not be able to be bound around it. And this hand cannot operate without the space. You see? And even scientists, astronomers, they all want to go into space to find an object. This damn space, there's so much of it. Even a telescope, hides the space, you see. If I look through the telescope, all this space won't, get in the way, Always looking for the object, the alien, the planet, that what is perceivable. And space is not imagined. It's not imagined. It's real. What holds the space together, you see? What is space? I see scientists looking through the telescope at the space saying, oh, the room is in the way, the trees are in the way. I can't see clearly through the space, I can't see infinite space. They look at the opposite. We all look at it the opposite way. We don't want the space. We want to see something at the end. We want to see something on the journey. We want to see objects. We want to see mountains. We want to see great, people, celebrities, kings. We want to see our cup when we drink our coffee, which reminds me. I don't remember where I started from. Where did I start? Was there a beginning to this? Is there an apology needed? Are you requiring an apology for going off in space into a tangent? You see, that's a freedom of what we are. We are free to travel through the universe of space. We don't have to go far. Here it is, right in front of my very eyes. Universal space. But we don't want to examine that because we can't. You see, we look for consciousness. What is consciousness? Consciousness is everything, including the space. So space has to be fixed. Space itself, when an object, Isaac Newton, falls from the sky, it travels through space, and it ends up on this planetary surface, squashed, gone, broken. If it's living, human, it's dead. But space, is it dropping? Is it dropping? Where does it drop to? If it's continually dropping, it has to be infinite. At some point, is this space in front of the eyes dropping somewhere, or rising somewhere, or going to the left, or going to the right? Is it vanishing? You see, we can't see it, so we can't make judgment of it. But it's very simple, very, very simple. If you imagine everything was taken, everything was disposed of, including the planets, but you still had the eyes. So there's no you in a body, but you're still witnessing this nothingness. You can say it's black, you can say it's light, it matters not. It's space. Where is it going? What is it doing? Where is it rising from? You see? The biologists want to know what the body is, what it's doing, where it rises from, where it was born from, how it made. And they still have not discovered consciousness. Because consciousness is that what holds the form and the space as one whole consciousness, fixed infinitely boundless, together, always here. As that. I don't know how it started, but can we put our mind, even deny, even ignore awakening and enlightenment? Can we put our mind into a reverse role? Can we start looking at space, you see? Where do we start? Will we find an answer? Yes, we'll find space. When we look at the object, we don't find an answer. We find different definitions of it. Some say it's flesh, some say it's blood, some say it's spirit, some say it's bone, some say it's atoms, some say it's microns, some say it's, an illusion, some say it's light, some say it's an energy, some say it's a sound. Fuck space, Nothing to do. How am I going to spend my day? How am I going to, what's going to drive me to get into the tube to go to my work, to my laboratory, and drink some nice coffee, and go on the computer to look at the planets, and pay no respects to the space.